What's going on, guys? It's NY Prepper here, and I just wanted to do this quick video on an easy and cheap way to camouflage your long guns, whether it's a rifle or shotgun. Um, a lot of people, they spray paint their firearms, or they get a Cerakote finish or a Duracoat finish, and there's pluses and minuses to those things. And obviously they're expensive too. Getting your firearms Cerakoted is not cheap. Duracoating is also fairly expensive, and Duracoating can also damage your firearm as well, because Duracoat is just literally it's like a plastic spray-on finish that adheres to your stock and to your metal on your rifle. And what could happen is there could actually be rust underneath that Duracoat. Over time, moisture can get trapped underneath. And so that's a big downfall with Duracoats. And spray paint, same thing. Spray paint, it can peel off. It can damage your stock and damage your steel on your rifle, because moisture can get trapped under the paint. And there may be times, for example, where you spray paint a rifle, and you don't want that same color all year round. So let's say, for example, here where I live in the northern part of the U.S. in upstate New York, and we have 4 seasons. Okay, so in the summertime it's green, and in the wintertime it's white, and in the fall and in the spring it's gray or brown. Because in the summertime, like you see here, everything is green. If you see the trees, everything's green. In the fall it's brown and gray. In the winter it's white, snow. So if I spray paint my rifle green, and then snow time comes, or the fall time comes, and everything is gray or brown, that camouflage is not really going to work for me that well. So I want to introduce something to you guys that I found to be a really good option. That's very cheap and easy to do. You don't need to be a professional. You don't need to have specialized tools. You don't need to, bake your rifle in your oven or any of that kind of stuff. Something very simple, very easy, that's not going to damage your weapon, and you can take it on and off. And like a lot of you guys, I have a lot of firearms that are not tactical. I have a lot of hunting rifles, like this 4570 here. This is a 4570 lever gun. Okay. This is a very powerful rifle. This was my first rifle that I ever had when I was 16 years old. My dad bought it for me, and here's what the 4570 round looks like. This is a 325 grain Hornady flex tip. Okay. And let me see, 4570. Okay, so like this rifle right here, I can't spray paint this. If I want to camouflage this, I can't spray paint it because it's going to get damaged. I have a blued steel finish. I have hardwood here. This is a walnut. So this is not a good candidate for spray painting, all right? But if I want to camouflage this, either for hunting or if I want to turn this into a self-defense weapon for SHTF, when there's SHTF, you're going to have to use any weapon that you have and turn it into a tactical weapon. So you may have, a rifle like this, a 4570 lever gun, or a 3030 Marlin, those are very common rifles. And you may have to convert this into a tactical rifle and give it to somebody. Let's say you have a friend of yours or a neighbor, and you're trying to secure your neighborhood, and you don't have 10 AR-15s to give to everybody, but Joe, Bob, and Greg have a couple of 270s and 30-06s, and you want to deploy them into a tactical role. That's where you're going to want to camouflage them, and you need something quick and easy that can go on the rifle, that you don't have to bake on. You can take it on and off. You can adjust to the different seasons. Like I said, winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, and that's where this comes in. This is the Aid Camo Form tape. All right, it's not really a tape. It's like an ace bandage, and it's kind of like a self-clinging, ace bandage material. And you could actually use this as a bandage if you wanted to. If you had like a gauze pad or something, you could use this as a bandage, but it like clings to itself. You can hear the noise when I'm peeling it. If you hear that noise. All right, so it sticks to itself, and what you do is you just wrap this around your rifle. And what this allows me to do is customize to different seasons, different terrains, things like that. I don't have a permanent solution like a spray paint or Cerakote, Duracoat. Those are permanent solutions that, I may want to customize my weapon for different seasons, different terrains. So here's an example of one rifle that I've already wrapped up. All right, and here's the tape here. As you see, it's not really tape. Like I said, it's like a ace bandage material. And this is a Ruger M77 Hawkeye Alaskan. All right, so it already had, I changed the stock out. I got a green stock, but a lot of you guys that have synthetic stocks, you probably have like a black stock. And if you have a black stock, that's not natural, okay? Black stocks, they stick out in an environment like this where everything is green. Any kind of black stock is going to stick out against a background like you see here with the grass and the trees. So you want to blend in and break up the outline of your rifle. And also, what this tape does, if you notice, and again, it's not actual tape, it's just like an ace bandage. But if you notice, I wrap my scope with it. Let me see, I wrap my scope with it here. I wrap the front part of the rifle. I still have to, I had to take the wrapping off, but I had it wrapped on the stock here. I was sighting in this rifle 2 weeks ago, so I had to have access to the adjustable cheek piece here. So I had to take it off, but you can pretty much wrap your whole rifle with it. And when you're wrapping, you just want to make sure you don't wrap over anything that you need to have access to, like especially your safety, your bolt, your ejection port here, your on your scope, you want to have access to your turrets, especially if you have a tactical scope like I do. I have a concealed tactical turrets here, so I want to have access to these if I need to adjust my drop, my ballistics, my ballistic drop, my ballistic compensation, my illumination dial here. All right, so when you wrap your rifle, you don't want to over wrap the whole thing and not have access to critical areas of your rifle. So you can cut this. This is easy to cut with a scissor, and you can customize this. You can camouflage anything, not just your rifle. You can camouflage pretty much anything you want. And this is my 300 Win Mag. You've probably seen it already a few times before, but if you're new to the channel, this is a 300 Win Mag. This is one of my SHTF rifles that I plan to use if the world goes to hell and I have to defend my home or put food on the table. This is a multifunctional weapon here that I can take down any kind of threat or wild game at a long distance away. Okay, so but I wrapped it up, and as you can see, it not only does it give it some camouflage, but what it also does is it kind of breaks up the look of the rifle. It doesn't look like a rifle anymore. When you wrap it up, it kind of eliminates that profile that a person would, be able to easily distinguish, okay, that looks like a rifle. It kind of breaks it up a little bit. This doesn't really look like a scope as much anymore. It kind of just looks like something, long and just wrapped in cloth, and so, so I wanted to just share this with you guys because I know a lot of you guys, just like me, you don't all have only tactical rifles. You have hunting rifles that you may want to camouflage, and not everybody wants to Cerakote or spray paint, and this is a nice, easy way to do it. You literally just wrap it, and, this is the Woodland, so they have all different kinds of colors. This is the Woodland Digital, and I prefer this color for, for summertime where I live, because it's a nice blend of green, brown, and black. It's just a very earthy colors, and this is my preference for the summertime. Most of you guys that live in the East, you know, Eastern Woodlands. I recommend this for your wrap for the summertime, and that's what I have for my rifle right now. And this wrap will come off in the fall, and I'll throw on this one. This is Realtree Edge. They have Realtree Edge, and you can see it. It looks, you know, it has this brown, leafy kind of color here. So this is what I'm going to put on in the fall time and in the springtime. All right, and then for winter time, I have a snow camo, you know, version. It's white and it has this little, you know, grayish kind of text coloration mixed in. So, you know, this gives me the option to customize, you know, my camouflage to different seasons. Okay, and different terrains, you know, rather than just spray painting. You know, it allows you to have multiple options, and of course you could spray paint your rifle one solid you know, earthy color, like here I have this OD green stock on the 300 Win Mag. You know, you could obviously do that and then, you know, wrap it afterwards, but I think wrapping is your best bet. And it's very cheap. One of these rolls is only like 10 bucks, and you know, it's very simple to use. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, and you know, you don't have to have experience. You literally just wrap it around your rifle. What I recommend is you want to get like 2 rolls per rifle, especially if you have a longer rifle that's, you know, 20 inches or longer, something like a bolt action, a lever action. You know, and you're going to probably need 2 rolls because you're going to need to cut one, and you're going to have 1/2 on the front side. So like here on this rifle, I have one part of the roll. You're going to have to go up to where the chamber is here. Then you're going to have to cut it, and you're going to have to do the rest on the stock. Okay, the pistol from the trigger back to the pad, to the recoil pad. You're going to have to cover this whole thing. You're going to wrap this whole area here. Okay, let me just move this back so I can show you guys a little easier. You're going to have to cover the stock. All right, the from the trigger guard all the way back. You're going to wrap this whole section. You're going to leave this section here unwrapped. All right, where the bolt is, where the safety is, where the trigger from here to here. This section here, you're going to leave that unwrapped. So you're going to need to cut, you know, the first roll, and then you're also, if you have a scope, you're going to have to cut some pieces. And as you see, I had to cut a few pieces to get it to fit in between the turrets and the adjustment knob here for the magnification. So, you know, 2 rolls per rifle is what you want. You're probably going to end up using about 1.5 rolls for a rifle with a scope, okay, like this 300 Win Mag, or this 4570. A scoped long gun is going to probably use about 1.5 rolls, okay, depending on how much you wrap it and what you're trying to do. And, you know, so, and then you're obviously going to want to have spare rolls, you know, and you want to throw maybe 1 spare roll in your patrol pack. If it's SHTF and you're doing a patrol, or you're doing Overwatch, you know, or recon, you want to throw maybe 1 or 2 of these rolls in your pack in case, you know, something happens to it in the field and you have to put a fresh you know, layer on. Because this is cloth, you know, cloth can, you know, rip and get dirty and stuff like that. So keep a spare roll or 2 rolls in your patrol pack. It doesn't weigh anything, so throw them in there, you know, just in case you have to camouflage. So, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, I just wanted to show you guys that, and you know, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more videos on, you know, SHTF weaponry and things like that. All right, so as always, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere. And just so you guys see, that's the company, Camo Form. All right, guys.